My wife called her cheating stories self-growth. I called the lawyer. My wife said cheating was all about self-growth, so I decided to give her the divorce of a lifetime, right in front of an audience. Talk about a showstopper. So, I just rolled back home from the grind on a Friday, and let me tell you, I was ready to crack open a cold one and kick off the weekend party with my wife. So there I was, beer in hand, while my wife was just chilling at the kitchen table. Priorities, right? She totally beat me home. It was pretty obvious she had just spotted something that made her cringe. "Hey babe, we have to chat," she said. "Alright, before we dive into the juicy stuff, let me give you the lowdown on me and my better half." "Hey there. I'm Tim Garner, delighted to meet you." "Nope, no family ties to that former Supreme Court justice here." So, here I am at the ripe old age of 28, diving headfirst into the world of IT consulting, armed with a shiny master's degree in computer science. Who knew adulting could be this nerdy and fun? So, I'm rocking a height of 5 feet 11 inches, tipping the scales at around 205 pounds, and I've got these fabulous brown locks and matching peepers. Not too shabby, right? I hit the gym daily and crank out 5 miles every morning, so you could say I'm rocking that fitness game pretty well. People keep saying I look good, and honestly, I'm starting to believe them. Who knew? So, my wife's name is Marianne, but she prefers to be called Liz. Go figure, right? She's got a body that could make a statue jealous, and she's 2 years my junior. She hits the gym more times a week than most people hit snooze, rocking those blue eyes and blonde locks while flaunting some seriously toned legs. Talk about a fitness queen. She's got a tiny waist and a killer figure, plus she's just downright adorable. So, there we were, 2 ships passing in the night at a college bash. At that time, she was rocking the name Marianne Masters and was knee-deep in the world of numbers, chasing down her bachelor's degree in accounting. I kicked off my grad school adventure last year. We totally clicked and spent the rest of college in a romantic whirlwind. So, we tied the knot about a year after tossing our caps in the air. She definitely had a knack for diving headfirst into things without really thinking them through, especially when she was all fired up about something. For instance, she was totally against the idea of taking my last name when we tied the knot. Instead, she decided to roll with a Scott Pruitt or Rodham Clinton-style double-barreled last name, mixing ours together like a cocktail of awesome. So, I really wanted to chat with her about it, like, more than once. I had some concerns to share, but every time I opened my mouth, she went all defensive on me. I mean, she called me a sexist and even accused me of trying to steal her identity. Talk about a plot twist. She'd throw out examples of other gals who pulled the same stunt when they tied the knot and sailed through without a hitch. She had pals who had totally gone for it. She totally called me out for ditching the whole male norm thing, saying that when women tie the knot, they have to take the man's last name, which is just plain oppressive. Can you believe that? I gave it a shot to share my 2 cents. I let her know I wasn't trying to pull her strings or anything. I was just trying to dodge any future drama, you know? I finally hit my limit and told her to plop down and scribble it out 5 times on a piece of paper before she even thought about reading it out loud. So, I totally promised her that if she was still keen on that name, we'd call a truce on any more debates about it. So, Liz Carter Garner, right? She totally wrote that. She had a change of heart faster than you can say I do and snagged my last name. Have I mentioned that her hair is like sunshine on a good day? Yep, it's naturally blonde. So, we were about 5 years deep into this wild ride called marriage. We weren't a family just yet, but we were totally plotting to become one soon. So, we had this grand plan to start our baby-making adventure on our 5th anniversary, which is just a little over 2 months from now. Exciting times ahead. She had a bit of a love-hate relationship with birth control pills, so we stuck to the good old condoms instead. We thought, why not give it a go without them? On our 5th anniversary, I was practically bouncing off the walls with excitement. And that's where the magic started, folks. I was enjoying a cold one when my wife dropped a 5-word bomb that totally got under my skin. She was like, I just want a jet set before we dive into the baby-making business. I have to wrap this up before I dive into the whole settle down and start a family gig. Liz gave it a shot to explain, bless her heart. Hold up. You're telling me you want to play the field, go on dates, and meet new guys, all while keeping the title of my wife? That's a plot twist I didn't see coming. Do you reckon I should just roll with it? Are you out of your mind? I just blurted it out. Hey, just a heads up, this is a 1-month gig. I just need a little more me time, you know? Gotta recharge the old batteries. Looks like we're all set to throw a party for our fabulous 5-year anniversary just like we planned. Once I've got my independence all squared away, I'll be ready to dive headfirst into this marriage thing and be your forever devoted, loyal wife, she said. No way, I shot back. All right, Timothy, you've made a smart move there. I'm diving in headfirst. Cheating? Oh, that's just a fancy way of saying, I'm not playing by the rules. It's all about sneaky moves and pulling the wool over someone's eyes, not some pre-planned agreement. So, here I am, spilling the beans about it right now, my dear. Oh, and just a heads up, this shindig won't be happening every single night, think more along the lines of Friday or Saturday nights. Party time, right? Guess who's rolling in by morning? This guy. See you soon. Don't worry, I'll be around for most of the week. I'll even catch some Z's before heading home from work, so I won't be a grumpy mess. Sleep is key, right? Oh, I can guarantee I won't be your chauffeur after that first date of yours. Why on earth would you think that? So, where'd that brainwave come from? I was pretty sure I had the scoop on where that came from, but I asked anyway just to be safe. So, I've been chatting with Nora about when we should dive into the whole baby-making adventure, Liz said. Nora, obviously. Wait, are you talking about your co-worker who's been through the marriage blender 4 times? Wow, that's some serious relationship cardio. She pulled a fast one on all 4 of her husbands. Wait, are you seriously thinking about getting marriage counseling from her? I threw out the question. She said that if we decided to have kids, it was super important to clear the air and wrap things up so I could chill out and be the best mom ever. Liz also mentioned that getting it on with other folks could spice things up and maybe even enhance our bedroom adventures. Who knew expanding my horizons could be so fun? She was all set to charge ahead, totally ignoring my protests like a bull in a china shop. I threw a few more counter-arguments at her, but she was prepared with a rebuttal for each own. Talk about a debate ninja. Alright, time to level up my skills. Looks like you're all set to dive in, no matter how I'm feeling about this whole thing. So, when's the big day for your first date? Got any plans, or are you just winging it? I threw out the question. No date locked in yet, but Nora and I are all set to hit the clubs tomorrow night. Let the good times roll. She hit me back. Alright, listen up. Just a heads up, if you think about dragging someone back with you, you're in for a world of hurt. Consider this your friendly warning. No way, Jose. Not happening. So, I guess we're either crashing at his place, hitting up a motel, or heading back to Nora's pad, she mentioned. I'm just going to sit back and let the pros handle the furry friends during the surgery. No animal wrangling for me. Guess what? So, you might come back to discover that your job has pulled a disappearing act, I said. What do you mean if I decide to waltz back in? Hey, I'm not disappearing on you. Just taking a little mini vacation for a night or 2 each week. No biggie. Oh, we're going to make the most of our time together, she shot back. No freaking way. No way, not happening. If you pull this off, you might want to start house hunting, my friend. I seriously couldn't care less. Look, if you're going to keep playing the field, this isn't the place for you, I said. Come on, don't be ridiculous. Welcome to my humble abode, folks. Oh no, you can't just boot me out like that. She shot back. Oh, I totally recall that my folks were the proud owners of the house. They switched it to my name right before we tied the knot. It's all mine, baby. Maybe you should just crash at Nora's place, I said. The air was so cold it could give an ice cube a run for its money, sticking around all night and crashing the morning party too. So, she suggested I crash in another room, but I had to let her know I forked over the cash for this bed, so I'm the one getting cozy here. She could always find another spot if she wanted. We totally ghosted each other the next day too. So, around 8 o'clock, Liz strutted down the stairs in her little black dress, complete with stockings and garters from her garter belt. Talk about a showstopper. Even though she was all wrapped up, I could totally tell she was rocking those 4-inch heels and had her hair styled up like a boss. Her makeup was on point, and she was rocking her night out bling like a total queen. She toted around a tiny clutch purse like it was the crown jewels. Did you forget to pack your brain or something? I totally asked. Nah, I'm good, she said with a wave. To have my phone, wallet, and ID with me, so I'm prepared to take on the world, or at least the closest coffee shop. So, what's the scoop on bags, clothes, makeup, and all those personal hygiene goodies? I totally asked. I'm just heading out for a little nighttime adventure. Why, oh why? Oh, so you're thinking of giving me the cold shoulder, huh? She shot back. I'll be back by morning, she tossed in casually. Oh, absolutely not. Not a chance. As soon as you hit the road, I'm swapping out the locks like it's a game of musical chairs. Knock it off with the nonsense. I know you love me enough to set me free, she quipped. Alrighty then, welcome to the wild ride that is your life. If you want to bounce, then bounce. But just know, once you're out that door, there's no coming back, I said. Just as she was about to spill the beans, a car horn blared in the driveway like it was auditioning for a role in a drama. Meet Nora, the legend herself. I have to bounce for now, but we can totally chat later when I'm back, she said. So, while she was busy in the bathroom doing her glam thing, I decided to play a little prank and snuck her phone to install a couple of sneaky apps. Don't tell her. This would let me keep tabs on her whereabouts, peek at her texts, eavesdrop on her calls, and even hijack her phone's mic and camera from afar. Sneaky, right? I hit the brakes for a sec before firing up the mic, right after she made her grand exit from the house. I'd catch snippets of her chatting with Nora while I was behind the wheel. I can totally catch the jam later. I had a few things on my to-do list that were just begging for my attention. So, the first mission on my to-do list was to swap out that ancient door lock for the shiny new one I snagged earlier. Time for an upgrade. So, I decided to play a little game of musical cars, moved her right back outside the garage, gave the garage door opener a little reset action, and swiped her remote control. Sneaky, right? So, it was time to play Tetris with her clothes, personal stuff, and a mountain of cosmetics I had crammed into those boxes I scavenged. Let the packing games begin. 2 hours later, she had crammed all her stuff into her car like a game of Tetris gone wild. She paused, running the conversation with Nora through her mind like a bad sitcom rerun. Liz said he's totally fuming. I already warned you about this. Sure, he might be fuming for a week or two, but don't worry, he'll bounce back like a rubber band. Keep hustling and show him your best side in the days ahead. You've got this. Do a great job, and he'll start to notice you, like a hawk spotting a shiny object. Appreciation incoming. Guys are basically just big, lovable pups. Hey, let's be real, most stuff can totally be forgiven if there's a little treat at the end of the tunnel, right? A sprinkle of good vibes can totally help you score what you want, Nora chimed in. So, fingers crossed that my match doesn't wear me out too much for some quality time with Tim tomorrow night, Liz quipped. Don't forget to treat yourself to a nice, steamy soak tomorrow. You deserve it. That should take the edge off the pain a bit. Hey there. How about you ditch those underpants and stash them in your ride? Thanks a bunch. Nora chimed in, you can totally leave those behind tonight. Well, I'd have to be wearing underpants to take them off, you cheeky little rascal. Liz shot back. Nora chimed in with, it takes one to know one. Classic, right? They both burst out laughing and totally saw the funny side of things. Hey there. Just a quick heads up about Nora. She stood at a fabulous 5 feet 4 inches, rocking stunning red hair that flowed all the way down to her lower back. With emerald eyes that could make anyone swoon and an angelic face that could launch 1,000 ships, she also had a killer shape that screamed, I hit the gym. She was in her mid-20s and already had a marriage resume that could rival a reality TV show, 4 times down the aisle. Every single one of them had a little sneaky cheating action going on. Seriously, who racks up 4 divorces before hitting the big 3-0? Talk about a wild ride. She's been chasing me down like a dog after a squirrel, just so you know. She totally owned it, no shame in her game. She had a knack for tossing out some truly questionable ideas to Liz, like confetti at a parade. She was all about suggesting they hit the road for some fun adventures together. Well, look at me dodging that bullet like a pro. I kept my eyes glued to them until they finally rolled up to the club. It was so loud in there that I could barely catch a word after that. Talk about a noisy party. So, there I was, multitasking like a pro, keeping an eye on her GPS while I was knee-deep in online banking. I mean, who doesn't love a little thrill? I withdrew half of our joint funds, checked off some bills, gave those shared credit cards the old heave-ho, and then, just for good measure, I transferred all our savings to my shiny new offshore account. Smooth, right? I pulled off the slick move of transferring about 70% of our investment assets into my name only. Look at me, the financial wizard. So, I spotted Liz's phone GPS doing its little dance again, and at the 15-minute mark, I flipped the microphone back on. Let the eavesdropping commence. So, Liz was chatting it up with someone, and then this dude decided to jump in with a response. Looks like my phone's throwing a little party over here. Ring-a-ding-ding. Hold up a sec, she exclaimed, and then there was a whole lot of shuffling going on. Hey there, Nora. What's the scoop? Hey girl, Did you end up going out with that adorable guy you were busting a move with? Nora piped up. Oh yeah, we're heading to your place for some quality alone time. Can't wait. Hey, I hope you don't mind if I crash in your guest room for a bit. Liz shot back. Alrighty then, sounds good. Thanks a bunch, darling. I'll be rolling in soon with a buddy to stir up some fun, I guess. I need to take a shower before I make my grand departure home. Can't be rolling in like a hot mess, right? Nora chimed in, hey, I think I stashed some shampoo and body wash in the guest bathroom for you. I gave a little nod. You got it, no problemo. So, I was in a bit of a rush and thought, why not play detective? I flipped on her camera to check out who she rolled in with. I caught just a quick glimpse before she snatched her phone away like it was a hot potato. He didn't exactly scream one of a kind, did he? So there he was, sitting down, and I couldn't help but guess he was in his late 30s, rocking some thinning black hair, and definitely shorter than me. Like, come on, I could practically look over him without even trying. I hit the off switch on everything while they were making their grand entrance. As soon as I spotted them creeping up to Nora's place, I flipped the mic and camera back on like a sneaky little spy. I kept my ears glued to the phone until I finally heard them skedaddle away. It was totally bonkers. I had to make sure she was glued to her phone so I could snag some audio proof of her sneaky shenanigans. Asking for video evidence? Yeah, that sounds a bit out there, doesn't it? Hey there, mysterious stranger. What can I do for you? Oh, I see that's my hubby's catchy ringtone. Huh? What's going on here? Forget about it. Oops, can't do it. Liz was all like, I'll just tell him to give it another shot later. Hey there, darling. What's cooking? To me. Hey, Liz. Where are you at? Missing you over here. I threw the question out there. Chillin' at Nora's place. We're just chilling for a bit, then she's going to whisk me back home. Catch you in a few hours, my friend. Don't miss me too much. We just kicked off a flick, she totally fibbed. No worries, I'm all good over here. I'll be back home in just a couple of hours, so hold on to your snacks. Sure thing, I said. No biggie. Nancy, you must have been having a blast because she was totally tipsy. She totally missed the fact that when we hung up, I skipped the whole pet name and I love you routine. She totally missed the fact that I didn't even bother to say goodbye, for crying out loud. Out of nowhere, she waltzed into the bedroom with her phone in hand, probably still yapping away with me. She plopped it on the nightstand next to the lamp, giving it a little nudge so it was mostly aimed at the bed. Mission accomplished. I had my doubts about whether the video evidence would stand up in court, but honestly, that wasn't even on my radar back then. I've seen enough movies to figure out they were pretty much in the same zip code. I hit that minimize button and got the recording rolling like a pro. If she's out there living it up, why should I be stuck at home twiddling my thumbs? Not happening. You know what they say, what's good for the goose is also a solid deal for the gander. Isn't that the truth? She's totally being a drama queen. I'm off to mingle with some folks on my own. Oh, you bet I'm going to spill the beans to her too. I dedicated my weekend to tackling the never-ending list of chores and giving my classic truck a makeover. Who knew cleaning could be so riveting? A while back, I snagged an awesome deal on a 1972 GMC pickup, and let me tell you, it's been my little project buddy ever since. I gave the 350 high-performance motor a makeover, swapped out the 3-speed manual for a snazzy Borg Warner Super T10 4-speed manual, and threw in a 12-volt high-traction rear differential. Oh, and let's not forget the plush leather bucket seats and that sleek matte black paint job. Talk about a ride that's ready to turn heads. Alright, folks, it's time to play connect the dots with our shiny new engine. We're hooking it up to the fuel system, radiator, and vacuum connections, all while strutting our stuff with some snazzy steel-braided lines. Let's get this party started. This week, work was surprisingly a decent distraction. Even better, you can kick back and forget all about Liz in the evenings. Guess what? I got the truck purring like a kitten again and zoomed over to a lawyer to kick off the divorce drama. Who knew trucks and lawyers could be such a fun combo? So, we thought we were all about that 50-50 life, but surprise. The Canadian legal system seems to have a bit of a bias when it comes to guys getting their fair share in a divorce. Who knew, right? So, it turns out that cheating is like a golden ticket for wives to cash in on their husband's loyalty. Talk about a real-life game of Monopoly. And honestly, how much can you really defend yourself when the rules are stacked against you? Friday night rolled in, and I was all set, truck spick and span, ready to hit the road. I jumped in the shower, gave my face a little TLC with a shave, and splashed on some cologne that could knock your socks off. Then, I threw on my snazzy new pants and a sleek black dress shirt and topped it all off with my fabulous rattlesnake skin cowboy boots. Yeehaw! I decided to indulge in a fancy dinner at a swanky steakhouse. Because why not? Treat yourself, right? No need for a snooze fest here, but let me just say the T-bone was a showstopper, the loaded baked potato was a flavor explosion, and the veggies and house salad were top-notch too. I strolled out of the restaurant and checked out Liz's phone like it was the latest gossip magazine. So, they rolled into the club about 30 minutes ago, just in time to catch the vibe. Time to unleash the master plan, folks. Let's get this show on the road. This was definitely going to tick Liz off a notch or two. I flashed a grin and slid into a parking spot a couple of cars away from Liz's ride. She was totally behind the wheel tonight, which was a win for me because I didn't have to stress about Nora getting ditched or anything like that. Well, it's pretty obvious Liz was behind the wheel, especially with that parking job. Talk about a clear sign. It was pretty awesome. I was really hoping this would be a breeze and that I wouldn't have to chat with Liz about it. I was just trying to nudge her to bounce with Nora so she wouldn't have to swing back for her car the next day. You know, keep it simple. We had our ducks in a row and backup plans ready to roll. I strolled into the bar like I owned the place. They were like a neon sign in a blackout. "Nora, I had no clue you were making an appearance today," I said, strutting over to their table with a drink in hand like I owned the place. I held off on making my move until Liz had skipped off to groove with some dude who looked like he'd just stepped out of a frat party. "Hey Timmy, what's the scoop that landed you here?" she asked, her brow furrowed like she just spotted a spider in her cereal. I shot back with, "More than what you were up to. With Liz MIA, I'm just kicking back at Club Z and soaking up the good times tonight. Shall we bust a move? Sound good? Just a heads up, Liz is hanging out with me. What's stopping you from busting a move with me right this second?" Well, if she's not in the chair, she's either taking a quick pit stop in the restroom or busting a move on the dance floor. "Woohoo. I'm totally down to bust a move with you," she said, grinning like a kid in a candy store. We were grooving through 3 bangers when suddenly, the DJ hit us with a slow jam. As the tune started to crank up, I seized the moment and yanked her in close. So, Liz caught sight of me in that moment, and it was like flipping a switch. Her face went from "oh my gosh" to "oh no." As if she thought I had just uncovered her top-secret mission. She made a graceful exit from the dance floor and waltzed back to their table. So there she was, giving me the full-on death stare, like I just stole her last slice of pizza or something. No attempt at subtlety whatsoever. Oh honey, you wouldn't believe what I was thinking. Nora was totally getting her groove on, grinding against me while we danced to the tunes. It was a whole vibe. She was totally awesome. I had a blast with this gal. Well, it was just a ticking time bomb before I finally made my move. She totally caught on to what was happening, shot me a grin, and scooted a little closer. Classic move. She sauntered off, and let me tell you, her outfit was so sheer I could practically see her life story unfolding. She was rocking barely their attire underneath. I leaned over to Liz and gave Nora a gentle poke. She was rocking that outfit, or should I say lack of it? But after the song wrapped up, I strolled Nora back to her table like a true gentleman. She was like, "Hey, come sit with us." And I was all in, no hesitation. On the way back, I waved my hand like I was conducting an orchestra, trying to get a server's attention for a refill. I told her to throw all 3 beers on my tab, because why not? Cheers to that. "Hey Timothy, what's the deal?" Liz shot a look his way. "What are you talking about? I'm totally on the same page as you. I'm out here sipping on some drinks, busting a move, and just living my best life." "Wait, is this a no-go zone?" I shot back a reply. "Seriously, who do you think you're fooling? Oh, so you just showed up to be my personal party pooper?" She shot back. "Nah, not really, Liz. Whoa, what are the odds? I didn't even know you'd show up since we haven't chatted since you packed your bags and hit the road. Who could have guessed, right? So, my co-workers were raving about this place, and I thought, why not check it out for a night of shenanigans? Sure, that's cool for you, but not for me," I said, shifting my attention back to Nora. I jumped back into our convo. Liz was fuming, and let's be real, she wasn't exactly winning any beauty contests at that moment. I totally played it cool and acted like I didn't see a thing. She was totally trying to make me green with envy. I couldn't help but chuckle to myself while I was chatting with Nora and watching her antics. So, there I was, spotting this dude strutting over to ask her to dance, and I thought, not on my watch. I swooped in and asked her first. After a couple of those, it was like we were wearing matching t-shirts. Everyone totally got that we were an item. A couple of hours later, I stumbled upon a golden opportunity. Liz was busting a move, and Nora was riding high on the good vibes. She flashed a grin and gave me a little wave as I strolled over. As I got closer, it hit me, she was definitely keeping it minimal on the wardrobe front. She lounged back and casually ran her hand over the front of my jeans like she was checking for change or something. "Is your pad a hop, skip, and a jump away?" I leaned in and gave her a little whisper, my breath tickling her ear like a cheeky little secret. Liz promised she'd be here any minute now, so let's keep our fingers crossed. Does that even matter, though? I figured she'd be living the solo life in her own room, you know? I chatted away while planting a smooch on the back of her neck. "Oh man, I really hope that's not the case," she shot back. She was behind the wheel, keys in hand, ready to hit the road. "She'll totally find her way back, no GPS needed. Time to roll out." I kept the vibe alive and dropped her off at her place, giving her calf a little love tap on the way out. As soon as we stepped through the door, she ditched her dress like it was a hot potato. She grabbed my hand and whisked me off to her bedroom like it was the hottest ticket in town. So, guess what? We totally confirmed the intimacy thing, and it was absolutely fantastic. Woohoo. She's pretty awesome at it. I was just doing my usual safety dance, you know the drill, when suddenly I heard the front door creak open and slam shut. Talk about a plot twist. Nora was totally zoned out, thank goodness for that. Just so we're clear, Nora really knows how to make some noise. Oh, and guess what? Liz's room is right next door to Nora's. Talk about a roommate situation. Phew. Good thing I was all set and ready to roll. Oh boy, that night was one for the books. So many reasons to remember it, I can't even keep track. Liz was a bit wobbly on some things, but we both dove in and got the hang of it eventually. We totally crashed from sheer exhaustion. Rise and shine, sleepyhead. It's that magical time of day again, early morning. I roll out of bed to find a little surprise waiting for me downstairs, and let me tell you, it's a delightful way to kick off the day. So, even though we've had some enjoyable laughs about Nora's wild past, I'm going to keep mum about returning a few favors. You might be scratching your head about my ethics, but hey, I'm all about that mutual fun and spreading the love. But hey, let's be real, safety and health are the big cheese here. That's why I'm all about rocking that protective gear. Breakfast was a total cringe fest, to put it mildly. Liz was probably trying to catch some extra Z's. She was whipping up something in the kitchen when we made our grand exit. "How about a little cup of joe?" Liz shot me a question as I strolled into the kitchen. "No worries at all." "Sure thing, I can totally go grab it," I said. I spotted a little grin creeping onto her face as she asked her question. I snagged a fresh mug from the shelf and hovered by the Keurig, watching it work its magic. Who knows what kind of wild stuff she would have tossed in there if I'd let her grab it for me. From that point on, it was like she had a one-woman show going on, talking about nothing else. I tagged along to chat with Nora too. Liz finally figured out we were MIA, and let me tell you, she was onto us like a detective on a donut run. She totally expected me to bring Nora back to my place and was not thrilled when she spotted my truck parked at the apartment complex. Oops. So, it turns out she was serving up some serious side-eye at breakfast, and her date didn't stick around for the main course. He bolted faster than you can say awkward. I made a quick exit. I'm like a dog with a bone, once I sink my teeth into something, there's no way I'm letting go. Determination? Oh, I've got it in spades. So, I had a hunch that Liz was surrounded by a bunch of gorgeous single gals. I had bumped into a few of them at her work shindigs and our get-togethers, and I even snagged their digits. I kicked off some texting with a few of them, threw out some invites, and guess what? Most of them said yes to a date with yours truly. Some folks were a bit iffy since I was still technically hitched, but Liz spilled the beans about our work situation at us, and I managed to win them over. So, it looks like things are getting a bit spicy at work. I've spotted some serious tension brewing between Liz and Nora, not to mention Liz and a couple of the other single ladies. Drama alert. You got it. Spot on. I started chilling with Liz's pals and work buddies. I'd totally have them over for dinner or whisk them away to some swanky restaurant at the opera or whatever. I totally made it a point to hang out in the same spots as her crew when they were all together. I was totally getting my money's worth out of the GPS tracker and the audio recordings on her phone. So, it turns out that a couple of my co-workers I thought I was vibing with were actually planning trips and having a blast with the real Liz. Classic, right? Liz was still hitting the town and rolling back in with her crew. squabbling with Nora like it was an Olympic sport. I was living it up, hitting the town, munching on gourmet grub, busting a move on the dance floor, and having a little fun with some unexpected company. I totally loved hearing the OG Liz. What a treat. Liz just dropped the bomb, everyone's gone. Well, this definitely wasn't part of the plan. Nora was like, wait, what do you mean, Liz? He totally promised to hang around until I wrapped up my final year. What a champ, right? Liz was all like, he was supposed to meet me so we could kick off our lives together, not pull a fast one and cheat on me. Nora shot back, totally didn't see this coming either. Hey Liz, what's the game plan? Spill the beans. Honestly, I've had a blast, but let's be real, nobody can hold a candle to Timothy when it comes to making me feel awesome. So, guess what? Our anniversary is just around the corner, and Liz has this brilliant idea to kick off baby-making festivities that very night. Talk about a celebration, right? Nora chimed in, oh, you bet. He's got that special charm with the ladies, Liz. So, what was the plan? You thought it'd be a blast to bring him over, spin a web of lies to me and my husband all night, and then pull a sneaky backstab the very next morning? Classic move. Nora chimed in, hey there, pal, take a chill pill. Whoa, can you believe it? I've been crushing on him for ages. What were you thinking would go down when he tried to flirt with me? He totally went all out and hit every single one of my buttons. I just couldn't resist. Liz was like, but hey, he's got a ring on it. Hey, you might have tossed a little respect your best friend's way, huh? Nora shot back, alright, my bad. So, guess what? He's totally ghosting me. There's no sign of a callback. I seriously doubt we'll be rekindling that flame anytime soon. Hey, no need to get all worked up at me for sharing this info. He's been trying to charm his way into the hearts of half our friends and coworkers. Liz was like, I can't believe those backstabbers are pulling this stunt on me. I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for what's headed my way. Nora was like, so, you're making a beeline back to him, huh, Liz? Sure thing, I'll give him a ring later and spill the beans that I'm all set to come back and dive into the baby-making adventure. Liz chimed in. I couldn't help but grin while I watched them interact. It was like a live comedy show. Oh boy, she was totally in the dark about what was about to hit her. Time to ring up the lawyer and drop some final instructions like it's hot. So, guess what? Our anniversary is just a smidge over a week away. Time flies when you're having fun, right? I had to get my ducks in a row for the big day. So, Liz rings me up later that day, all eager to come back home, and I was like, nah, not happening. If I did, I'd be playing a never-ending game of ping-pong with her. I laid out my meetups and casually mentioned that she seemed a bit clueless about her work schedule. I spilled the beans about the awesome upgrades we made to the house, hoping to wow her when she walked in and saw everything all shiny and new. I was really hoping to have the house all spick and span, looking like $1 million by the time she rolled back in. She whipped up a little surprise for our anniversary. So, I might have accidentally dropped some not-so-subtle hints that made her think one of the rooms was getting a baby makeover. Oops. I didn't say it was, so what was she expecting me to do, juggle flaming swords or something? I managed to talk her into holding off on the surprise until our anniversary. Patience is a virtue, right? I told her it was going to be a blast. All systems were a go, and we were primed for takeoff. So, picture this, it's 6 o'clock on a Saturday night, and I'm knee-deep in my 2-month master plan to blow Liz's mind with a gigantic pool party, complete with a shiny new pool right in the backyard. Talk about making a splash. She was totally flabbergasted when she sauntered into the backyard. We had a whole crew of friends and family, and then some extra party crashers. Ding dong. Someone's at the door. I told Liz to swing by here at 6 in the evening. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Sure, it was about as surprising as a cat video going viral, but anyone cruising by the house would have picked up on the weird vibes pretty quick. Still, she strolled right through that front door like it was just another Tuesday, completely oblivious to the chaos waiting for her inside. Hey everyone, guess what? The VIP is here. I shouted. Hey Timothy, what's the scoop? I totally thought we were hitting up a restaurant for dinner today, she said. Nah, I'm good, thanks. Today's a big deal, and I wanted all our family and pals to be here to witness the magic. Hey there. So, I have to say, this is a bit of a shocker, huh? Well, that totally caught me off guard, she said. Please place your suitcases here for now, we'll address them later. No rush. Hey there. You made it just in time for dinner, come on in and dig in. Dinner was a total win. We had a blast with a spread fit for royalty and enough giggles to fuel a comedy club. After we wrapped up our feast and tidied the place, I flicked on the backyard lights and gave Liz the grand tour of the pool and all the snazzy upgrades I'd done to the house. Ta-da! I still hadn't given her the grand tour of the upstairs. What am I waiting for, a marching band? She was dropping hints like a clumsy waiter, eager to check out the fabulous renovations I had wrapped up. I was totally convinced I had turned one of those spare rooms into a cute little nursery. Hey everyone, can I snag your attention for just a hot second? Thanks a bunch. Hey everyone, hold up. I've got some super important announcements to drop on this epic occasion, so let's hit pause on the chatter and tune in. As folks gathered round, the tunes hit pause, and suddenly, it was like someone pressed mute on the chit-chat. Hey, thanks for showing up. You rock. Alright, folks. Gather round because I've got some juicy announcements to spill. Hey Liz, scoot on over here and join the party. She scooted in a bit closer. So, guess what? Yesterday was my grand finale at work. Mic drop. So, the only one in the loop is my old boss, who got the scoop a month back when I dropped my notice like a hot potato. I'm kicking off my own consulting gig so I can finally hang out with my family more. Woohoo. Liz's face lit up like a kid in a candy store when I mentioned family. Guess what? Liz and I are hitting the big 5-year mark today. Can you believe it? Time flies when you're having fun. Guess what? We've been chatting about starting a family for ages, and today's the day we're diving in and giving it a go. Alright, folks. It's time to shower Liz with some anniversary love and get her a gift that'll knock her socks off. Oh, it's definitely one of those things that makes you go wow. I scooted over, waving her in like I was directing traffic at a busy intersection. Hey Marianne Garner, guess what? You've just been served, said the woman with a flair. Looks like a bunch of you are a bit in the dark, huh? Let me break it down for you. So, Liz dropped the bomb on me 2 months back, saying she was keen on dating other dudes. Ouch. She totally skipped the part where she checks if that's cool or gives any feedback. Classic move. She just laid out her game plan and called it a day. Simple as that. I think she shacked up with her buddy like 2 months back. Liz shouted, "Yep, I'm divorcing you so you can go be with whoever tickles your fancy." Trust me, it definitely won't be me. Oh, you bet I spilled the beans to Liz about all the cool upgrades in my house. Hey folks, have you noticed the shiny new pool going up? Oh, and don't forget about the basement floor getting a little makeover too. We gave the master bedroom a fresh coat of paint, and guess what? We also threw in a shiny new shower and a jacuzzi tub in the master bathroom. Talk about a spa day at home. I went ahead and knocked down the wall between 2 of the tiny bedrooms and turned them into one massive bedroom with its own fancy bathroom. Talk about an upgrade. There was a reason behind it, you know. So there I was, sharing my story, when in strolls a woman with flaming red hair and a little girl, probably around 10, rocking the same fiery locks. Talk about a matching set. Hey there. Let me introduce you to my lawyer, Clara Donovan, and her awesome daughter, Ellie. So, here's the scoop. Clara is a single mom, and I've been hanging out with her for the last couple of months. Fun times. So, we're not exactly a couple yet, but we totally feel that spark, you know? It's like we're on the brink of something awesome. Ellie and I seem to be hitting it off pretty well. So, once the divorce is all wrapped up and Clara's no longer my legal sidekick, we're planning to stick together. Who knew breaking up could lead to a reunion, right? So, guess what? Clara and Ellie are packing their bags and crashing at my place when her lease is up. Party time. I spun around to face Liz. Hey Liz, feel free to haul your bags out to your ride. Nope, you're not getting back in there. I warned you that you can't just do your own thing and pretend our marriage issues don't exist. Liz was having a full-on waterworks moment. Her family was raising the roof. A bunch of her housemates took off. My family was totally blown away. Clara and Ellie tiptoed upstairs like ninjas, totally out of sight. They totally gave me the thumbs up when I asked them earlier. Honestly, I haven't hit the hay with Clara. So, we hit up a dinner date, and I crashed at their place a couple of times, but we figured it was best to hold off on the apartment until my divorce was officially in the rearview mirror. She finally pulled the plug on her marriage after her husband decided to play the field 5 years back. Oops. She had been on a couple of dates since then, but honestly, no one really made her heart do the cha-cha. At long last, the crowd has dispersed. I was totally lost on Liz's whereabouts. I hit the off switch on that snooping software earlier today. I installed this so I could keep tabs on her antics. I had totally lost my interest in watching her antics. Did I totally mess that up? You betcha. Should I have roped Clara and especially Ellie into this whole mess? Totally on board with that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a big ol' nope on that one. What on earth was I thinking? I was fuming like a kettle on the verge of boiling over. Liz's antics really got under my skin, and I felt the need to give her a little wake-up call about how she was turning our marriage into a circus act. I just wanted to make it clear that my love for her didn't hit the brakes all by itself. She totally pulled that on me. I was hoping she'd get a taste of the chaos she served me on a silver platter. I could have personally visited her workplace to express my dissatisfaction, or alternatively, I could have distributed copies of the information to all neighbors. You know, just a casual little surprise. I had a million grown-up options that wouldn't have caused chaos, but hey, I chose the fun route instead. The new neighbors definitely gave off some shady vibes, confirming my suspicions. And Robert's instant buddy-buddy act with them? Yeah, that had me raising an eyebrow for sure. She couldn't figure out what he found so fascinating about the duo next door. Ida was more like a cat that just tolerates your existence, definitely not unfriendly, but don't expect her to throw a party for you anytime soon. On the flip side, she considered herself quite the social butterfly, making pals with the girls at the grocery store deli and the friendly librarian over at St. Rhea Public Library. But there was just something a bit wonky about them that made Ida raise an eyebrow and think, nope, not today. Maybe it was just that they were like nighttime ninjas, never seen during the day and popping up like they had a secret entrance to the Twilight Zone. So, when she asked where they had vanished to, she spilled her worries to Adela, who just chuckled and said she was being a bit nutty. So, Ida zipped it, thinking that was the way to go. So, Robert decided to pop over and say hi to his neighbor. So, Liz decided to crash at Nora's place, but guess what? It lasted about 2 weeks before they had a blow-up of epic proportions. She snagged herself a cozy little apartment and is still kicking it there. I spot her wandering around town every now and then. She's got this whole scowling thing down to an art form, or she just looks like she's auditioning for a sad movie, all depending on her mood swings. Small talk? Nah, that's not our jam. A friend of mine, who I bump into every now and then, just dropped the news that she ditched her old job and snagged a new gig. Go her. Running into her exes every single day? Talk about an awkward reunion tour. Yikes. Every now and then, I bump into Clara's family when Ellie and I hit the town for some grub. I keep my mouth shut while they shoot me the stink eye, but hey, I'm just out here trying to level up my nice guy game. Liz tried to throw a wrench in Clara and Ellie's divorce plans, but after a while, she decided it was a lost cause and threw in the towel. She was ready to hit the fast-forward button on this whole situation. Clara totally gave me the green light to put the squeeze on Liz by chatting up her co-workers. Liz finally decided to put pen to paper after checking out the glowing reviews from her co-workers about our past chats. Who knew a little social proof could work wonders? So, picture this, the divorce papers show up, and bam. Clara and Ellie decide it's the perfect time to become roommates. Talk about timing, right? Fast forward a year, and guess what? Clara and I tied the knot. On our wedding night, she really showed me what trust looks like, I'm all in, buddy. She kept reminding me how much she trusts and believes in our relationship, telling me to hold on to that whenever I felt like throwing in the towel. So, less than a year later, Liz totally strolled up to Clara, Ellie, and me at this street fair. It was a vibe. As soon as Clara's baby bump came into view, she did a quick 180 and bolted like she just saw a bear. So, here's the deal, if you're thinking about cheating, just remember, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Hey, feel free to drop the bomb on your partner that you're itching to add a little extra spice to your love life before diving headfirst into the family scene. Just a little pre-parenthood adventure, right? They might just decide to join the club and search for someone who vibes better with them. Fast forward a year from that wild pool party where Tim dropped the bomb on Liz with those divorce papers, and guess what? Life's found its groove again. The house, which used to be a drama zone, is now alive with good vibes and giggles. Clara and Ellie totally jumped into Tim's life, turning his place into a cozy nest that oozed hope and the magic of fresh starts. The backyard pool, once the epicenter of Tim's bold revenge plot, has transformed into Ellie's weekend splash zone and Clara's serene evening chill spot. But deep down in this cozy little bubble of happiness, Tim was wrestling with some serious inner demons. He had this guilt hanging over him like a dark cloud, thanks to his past shenanigans, and a sneaky fear that the scars from Liz's betrayal might just stick around for good. Tim's consulting firm was zooming ahead like a rocket ship, way faster than he ever thought it would. Leaving his job was like rolling the dice, but with his IT cred and a work ethic that could power a small city, He hit the jackpot. He was grinding away in his fancy home office, which was really just a spare room upstairs, where he could catch Ellie belting out some violin tunes or Clara serenading the kitchen while whipping up dinner. He totally loved the flexibility the business gave him. It was like a breath of fresh air. He could swing by and drop Ellie off at school or grab a midday coffee with Clara when the workload was chill. This freedom was like a breath of fresh air compared to the military-grade schedule he had with Liz, where every second felt like haggling over the last slice of pizza. Clara, with her brainy legal skills and calm vibes, was like the rock everyone needed. She'd been through the ringer in her last marriage, so she totally got Tim's need to keep his heart under lock and key. They decided to take it easy, letting their relationship blossom naturally after the divorce was wrapped up. Their wedding was a cozy little shindig with just the besties and fam, turning into a trust fest that Tim didn't even know he needed until Clara swooped in and helped him piece it back together. Ellie, now 11, was like a little firecracker lighting up their lives. She totally clicked with Tim right away, dubbing him T and dragging him into her science fair shenanigans or those epic late-night board game battles. But hey, the past wasn't exactly waving goodbye just yet. Liz hung around like that one awkward shadow you can't shake off at a party. Tim would sometimes catch a glimpse of her around town, whether she was hunting for snacks at the grocery store, sipping on a latte at the coffee shop, or zooming by in her tiny sedan like a stealthy ninja. Her face was like a mystery novel you just couldn't crack, a cocktail of sass and a sprinkle of sorrow. Our mutual pals were dishing out little tidbits from her life like it was the hottest gossip in town. She ditched her accounting gig after the cringe fest with her co-workers hit an all-time high, and now she's crunching numbers at a cozy little firm across town. She was rocking her solo life in a cozy little apartment, and the grapevine was buzzing that she had ditched dating to embark on a quest for self-discovery. Who needs A+1 when you can have a whole adventure, right? Tim was totally lost on how to feel about that one. Part of him was just itching to do a little victory dance. But there was this other side, you know, the quieter, more real one, that felt a little twinge of sadness for the lady he used to be head over heels for. On a chilly autumn day, Tim was chilling at the park with Ellie, who was zooming around the playground like a little tornado while he sipped his coffee on a bench, soaking it all in. Clara was off at some legal conference, leaving the dynamic duo to dive into their usual weekend shenanigans. As Ellie was hanging out on the monkey bars like a pro, a face she knew all too well strolled over. There was Liz, all wrapped up like a cozy burrito in her scarf and coat, with her blonde locks snuggled away under a beanie. Fashion goals, right? She paused, weighing her options like a kid deciding between broccoli and ice cream. But then Tim caught her eye and gave a little nod, like he was in on some secret joke. She tiptoed over, like she was sneaking up on a sleeping bear. "Tim," she said, her voice all soft and fuzzy, like a cozy blanket you forgot you had. "Well, look who it is. Didn't see that coming." "Ellie is totally obsessed with this place," he said, trying to keep a straight face. "So, what's the scoop with you?" "Hey there, just breezing by, huh?" She gave a casual shrug and shot a look at Ellie, like, "What's the deal?" "I stroll through this place every now and then. Clears out the cobwebs in my brain." There was a pause, thick with all the awkward stuff nobody wanted to say. "She's a total sweetheart. You're totally nailing it with her." Tim gave a little nod, totally lost on where this wild ride was headed. "She's a total sweetheart, and loving her is a piece of cake." Liz was staring at her shoes like they were the most interesting thing in the world, nervously playing with her scarf like it was a magic wand or something. "I was under the impression I could snag the whole shebang." "Woohoo. Freedom, baby." "Hey there, you." "Yeah, you. What's up?" A whole crew of humans living under one roof. He'd totally daydreamed about this moment, running through snappy comebacks in his mind like a pro. But now that it had finally arrived, he felt like a balloon that lost its air, just kind of floating around, all empty and stuff. "What's the deal, Liz? Why now? Wow, has it really been over a year? Time flies when you're having fun, or just trying to remember where you left your keys." "So, I've been chatting with a therapist, and guess what? She spilled the beans on why I totally blew up her life. Who knew therapy could be so revealing? So, here's the deal. I was totally freaked out. Of cozying up, of diving headfirst into the wild ride of motherhood. Nora's ideas were like trying to steer a ship with a spaghetti noodle. They seemed like a plan, but boy, were they toxic." She was still hanging around, but you could tell she was fading, like a light bulb that's just about to throw in the towel. He finally said, "Thanks, I appreciate that. Sure, saying sorry is nice and all, but it doesn't exactly hit the rewind button on the past, does it? I've officially hit the road and left that behind." Rocket emoji, I totally had to do it. Oh, I totally get it. Her eyes sparkled like diamonds, but she was fighting off a waterfall of tears. I bumped into Clara at the street fair. What are the odds, right? So, she's got a little bun in the oven, huh? Tim gave a little nod, like he just got the secret handshake of the universe. 4 months to go, folks. Time to get this party started. A little dude. Liz plastered on a grin like it was a sticker that wouldn't come off. That's absolutely fantastic. Seriously, though. She inhaled like she was about to dive into a pool of ice water. I won't hold you up, I just had to get that off my chest. Catch you later, Tim. Stay awesome. She spun around and strutted off, her silhouette fading into the fall fog like a magician's vanishing act. Tim stood there, coffee getting colder than his ex's heart, watching her disappear like a magician's rabbit. Poof. Gone. Ellie came charging in, gasping for air like she just sprinted a marathon. Who was that, T-Bone? Just a blast from the past, he said, giving her hair a playful tussle. Who's ready to dive into some ice cream goodness? So, that night, Tim spilled the beans to Clara about what went down. They were sprawled on the couch, her head cozy on his shoulder, with the house as quiet as a library, except for the dishwasher doing its best impression of a low-key concert. What's your vibe on that? Clara chimed in, her voice all soft and sweet like a marshmallow cloud. He totally fessed up to being conflicted. I was prepared to harbor resentment indefinitely, but upon encountering her today, my intentions abruptly changed. Clara, she's totally shattered. I seriously doubt she was aiming to wipe us off the map. She was like a runaway train, totally clueless on how to hit the brakes. Clara gave his hand a good squeeze, like she was trying to juice an orange or something. Hey, it's totally okay to feel a bit sorry for her. Just because you're letting it go doesn't mean you're ready to roll out the welcome mat again. Hey, it just means you're one of us, totally human. He planted a smooch on her forehead, feeling all kinds of thankful for her straight talk. No regrets about the divorce itself, but boy, do I wish I could hit rewind on how I dealt with it. The show pulls you and Allie right into the action. I was so mad I could have plotted a revenge movie worthy of a blockbuster. Seriously, I wanted her to feel the sting just like I did. Clara chimed in, we've been over this already. Ellie and I were totally cool with it. We totally got that you were feeling down. So, like, real talk? That night was a real wake-up call for Liz, like a slap in the face from reality. She probably wouldn't have zoomed through those papers without it. Tim let out a little laugh, the kind that sounds like it's been through a desert of humor. You're so practical, it's like you have a PhD in common sense. Chill out a bit, will you? It's why you adore me, she joked, then suddenly got all serious on me. Hey Tim, newsflash, you're not that dude anymore. Wow, look at you. You've really leveled up. We're cooking up something legit over here. Zero in on that, my friend. She totally nailed it. The next few months were a whirlwind of getting ready for whatever chaos was coming our way. Tim and Clara went all out on the nursery, splashing soft blues everywhere and slapping up a starry mural that Ellie helped whip up. Talk about a cosmic baby hangout. When their little champ, Liam, made his grand entrance into the world, Tim felt a happiness so huge it totally overshadowed all the not-so-fun stuff from his past. Cradling his kiddo, he figured out that Liz's backstab was just a pit stop, not the final destination. It brought him to a family he never even thought he could dream of, like winning the lottery of life, but with more hugs and less paperwork. Liz just blended into the wallpaper like she was trying out for a role in a home decor magazine. So, Tim caught wind that she packed her bags and scooted off to a nearby city, all in the name of a shiny new beginning. He gave her a silent high five and let her bounce out of his life. His life was a delightful chaos, beautifully flawed, but oh so full. As he watched Ellie turn Liam into a giggle machine, with Clara grinning next to him, he realized he'd hit the jackpot of true home vibes.